Hello everyone, this is Saayi. In today's video, I will be drawing Kaeya from Genshin Impact. After my coloring video of Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle with color pencils, I had the intention of retrying using them, but this time around, giving the base colors with markers. Mine are alcohol markers. I yet have to try out doing the same with cheap stationery markers, which I think it will be super fun to try as well. I won't be talking much about the game this time since I already did on my last video where I painted Paimon. If you haven't seen it yet, I will leave it here. I haven't encountered many characters on the game yet, but I was glad that Kaeya was one of the first. He is so cool. At some point I thought he was a bit of a himbo, which disappointed me a bit, but it was all a misunderstanding. I have encountered female characters, but I'm always more prone to draw male characters. Recently, I also encountered Diluc, so a fan art of him is also necessary. As expected, Kaeya's outfit was very intricate and difficult to figure out, but also very fun to color. It obviously took me a while to fill in the flats, but I was looking forward to combine alcohol markers and colored pencils together. The process didn't disappoint. I had seen artists around YouTube trying the two before, but personally I hadn't tried it. Layering the colored pencils was much easier having a base. The surface felt soft, and I could reach a smooth finish. Unlike using colored pencils on top of gouache, which, at least my colored pencils, look rough, being impossible for me to achieve a smooth finish. The process itself was very straightforward, layering slowly, using circular strokes to blend, and when I reached a limit for the dark values, I went on top with an alcohol marker that could help me reach the depth I needed. I also was very wary of having a pointy tip. That makes blending and doing line art with the colored pencils much easier. Overall, I had lots of fun doing this illustration. There is something very satisfying for me in having all the colors at my disposal. Unlike gouache or watercolor, that most of the time you need to mix the colors, reactivate the paint, while with these two materials, you pick and use. That gives me peace of mind. But of course, when you mix your own colors with paint, you can reach shades that are more difficult or impossible to reach if you don't have the right colored pencils or markers. I was unsure about his chest, so much that I even thought of putting gouache on top to recolor it. But in the end it wasn't necessary, and I think he ended up with a really nice booba, if I can say so myself. This was my favorite part, although I was scared to color it and I left it for last. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do his cape justice, especially for, I don't know, feathers it has on top, but it ended up being what I liked most of this piece. But seriously, Kaeya, how do you even get dressed in the mornings? Such a complicated outfit. I gave details with a purple ballpoint pen as line art and also some hatching to enhance the shadows. This is how the Kaeya at the front ended up looking. Now we will proceed with the Kaeya at the back, which remains as a mystery. It doesn't appear in the thumbnail. What I was focused the most was in smoothing the skin, since it got very rough after applying the marker. You could clearly see the lines of the strokes that the marker left behind. And seriously, he looked scary, right out of a horror movie. If you apply more ink with circular motions, these lines can disappear. But since it was only meant to be a base layer, I just left it for the colored pencils to fix it. I only painted that blue section under the chin to help me separate the two areas, since the sketch gets lost after applying the base layer. My idea for the Kaeya at the back was to make him darker, like he had a multiply layer on top. This way, he would kinda blend in with the background, so the Kaeya at the front would stand out more. For this purpose, I would color him normally, and then I would apply a layer of a warm gray marker on top and see how it went. And if it needed more depth, I would apply a darker shade of warm gray and even a sepia to achieve the effect wanted. I also wanted to try harder on the coloring for this hand, since in my previous videos I always felt the hands I painted were too basic and needed more details. I was also obsessed with how big Kaeya's head turned out looking, so I tried to fix it by coloring the background. That way, I could reshape his head with paint. And the moment of truth came in. Although I had a clear idea of what I wanted to do, I wasn't sure if it was going to turn out well. I even took pictures at this stage to show the end result at this point in case I were to ruin it. I was gonna fake I didn't. Thankfully, I didn't need to fake it, but as I expected, the colors on top washed off the shades a bit. So I had to go on top once again to make them more evident. I could also see the lines of the strokes of the marker once again, but I didn't want to blend more, since I felt the quality of the paper was getting worse. So I just used a darker color pencil to smooth the colors of the skin. To make the Kaeya at the front to stand out even more, I gave it an outline with a white Posca pen, which for my surprise, didn't act up this time. It didn't explode, and it behaved like it was supposed to. I gave final details with golden ink. And this is it, the final result. I really loved working on Kaeya and using this technique. I will definitely use it again. If you like drawing and painting content like this, you might consider to subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye!